data from Emma.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm delayed. It's not necessarily just the Balsall Heath experience. I came into this being mandated to lead for the City Council on a thing called neighbourhood community budgeting. The current government now calls it Our Place, which is about doing stuff in neighbourhoods and using resources smarter to do stuff better. It's had various iterations, and whatever government appears in a few weeks' time, I'm sure it will continue to have that kind of neighbourhood level of integration being the absolute focus for us. But on March 2 years ago, the then head of procurement for the trust came to see me to say, can health integrate with us on neighbourhoods? And you know how we'd previously engaged with health was a mystery. What is health? What is a health system in a neighbourhood? How do you find it? Is it or whatever? You know, the district nurses sort of wafted magic with the stuff. So we hadn't been able to kind of embrace doing stuff on a neighbourhood level before, but we've certainly done that now. And over the 2 years that we've been going, I'm always chiding Sam. I think, you know, I would have taken this 2 years ago, but hard down on the pedal to really use new models of care and of data. I go around the country talking about this integration stuff, and there are two things I say to elected members wherever they are, is that whatever your council's data is, it is unfit to do stuff on an integrated way in a local neighbourhood. And whatever your financial systems are, they too are unfit to do stuff on a neighbourhood basis. And what we have to do is disaggregate all of the data and parse it right down to the individuals, that real individuals, their lived experience in the neighbourhood. So where we've got to, you say Balsall Heath, of fantastic social stuff, what I call above the line stuff that goes on in Balsall Heath and in the other neighbourhoods, and there's some deficit stuff that's kind of below the line that's challenging and so on. So there's a density of issues that face some individuals, their families and streets that is simply overwhelming for them in some cases, and that's most obvious right outside the front door where there's vast accumulations of litter, fly tipping, graffiti and so on, because people have kind of given up. But there is such a rich resource within the neighbourhood, informal organisations and informal, and what we've been revealing with a lot of these actual real people in real neighbourhoods is informal networks, kind of serendipities that go on. And if you kind of conceive, we've been looking at over 65s in the first cohort with complex health needs. So these are people who are, you know, their system, they are ill people in general terms, and yet we found that half of them want to volunteer to do stuff. And if you look at tracking people's lives through, as you know, the first or middle periods of life, you're growing, you're developing, you're getting educated, you're doing work if you're fortunate, and you're developing social networks, families, and so on. And then as you move towards the later period of your life, you're losing these social networks, you're losing acquaintances, you're losing the workplace, and so on. So your world is shrinking. And what we've is that the people's lives have kind of reopened up. They've bloomed. We've got 650 elders with complex needs on the programme at the moment. And quite frankly, many of their lives have been transformed through these simple kind of social interactions integrated with health stuff. So where we're going, this isn't the end of where we're going. We're evolving very rapidly to a point where I hope that in the next 12 months, we're going to be able to press a button and get the actual ecology of Mary's life, whether it's Castle Vale, Shard End, Balsall Heath, Small Heath, or wherever, or the actual ecology of Hamid's life and what school, street, and so on. And we want to layer up the existing neighbourliness with new stuff that's going on. And a lot of that is down to data. It's down to repackaging stuff with real people in their lived experience and the ecology of their life. So I'm really excited about where we've got to, and I'm a bit more excited about where we're going to. And Emma will show you some of the very clever stuff under the bonnet here. Experian, I've got 850,000 data sets linked to every postcode in the UK. So don't be too frightened about what we've got. It is all going through the appropriate information governances and so on, but the capabilities you're about to see may surprise some.